All right, so now that I have all those IBC totes, I had to get rid of the bladders, the plastic bladders, because we're not going to use those for the reason we bought those totes. Now, I went to the recycle yard to see if I could recycle the plastic, and they said they would not take them. So unfortunately, I have to take them all to landfill. But that would take, 100 of those would take a lot of trips in the trailer. So I started cutting them all down into pieces so I could get more in each trailer load. And then I got to thinking, I went grocery shopping for the first time in a long time, and the prices of everything was just ridiculous. And at the campground, we built raised garden beds, and we did that for several years. And then the past year, before we sold, we were just so busy and consumed and overwhelmed with the campground. We planted everything, and then we just kind of let it go. So I had an idea. I decided to save some of the totes and cut them a little more than halfway down. These are the bottoms of 10 of them. And I cut about 18 inches off from the bottom. And we're going to turn these into garden beds. And I've seen this before, but I saw in a video not too long ago a really good idea. Rather than just fill that with dirt and compost, I'm putting gravel. Since we were doing the driveway, I just had an extra ton of gravel delivered. So we're putting gravel down here in the bottom half, and then what you do is you fill that up with water and then put landscape fabric, well, I guess put landscape fabric down first over top of the gravel, and then you can put your compost on top of that. So the vegetables will be all growing in the top half of the tank. The bottom half is going to be a reservoir, and the gravel there is just a filler. But now what will happen is every time we have a heavy rain or whatnot, as it soaks through the soil, it'll go down into the aquifer underneath it. And then as that evaporates back up, it will be watering the plants. So the whole concept behind this is, if you have a normal, if you're not in a drought, if you have a normal rainy season, these are titled self-watering garden beds, and we'll test that out. But if you do, what you can do is you put these pipes in here, just field tile, and you can see the water level. Of course, I don't have any in there now. And that way, if you do need water, you just bring the hose out and fill it up to the bottom. I'm going to cut overflows in here, and that way when you hit the top of the rock, it'll come out the side discharge pipe. And you constantly have 10 inches of water underneath the garden bed. So we'll see how that works. Now, because I needed the totes for my other project, the metal cages, we were left with this problem. Once you fill all this up, it's going to expand. So I think the cheapest thing I'd thought of was just putting some rebar down. We'll see how it works once it fills up with water and dirt, if it will hold. Actually, that's the most expensive part of the project. The totes I already had free. The gravel was only 30 bucks. The tile was $20, and the rebar ended up being like $100. I couldn't believe how expensive rebar's gotten, but ain't that the case with everything? So we'll give you an update later once we get those filled up. We're a little behind schedule getting our seeds planted indoors, but we'll try to get that done this week. And it all works out pretty well because we had to get the gravel. We already got the totes, and we're going to be getting the compost for the front. So it's all coming together pretty well. Just want to show you the other half of that project.